I just cleared the Fearless difficulty of Stygian Onslaught, and after spending more than 3-4 hours on this mode, I just gotta say, it is not worth it. It is not worth it at all. Over here on the first boss, the Moon Gecko, or whatever you want to call this piece of crap, this Geo Lizard dinosaur, I don't know what it is, but it is annoying as hell. It is super annoying, and if you don't have a well invested Geo team or a Lunar Crystallized team, you are effectively screwed. Now I know many people out there can do some shenanigans with Mavuika, with Kinich, with other claymores, with Varka, but let's be honest over here, majority of the players that play this game don't really super invest in those rotations and those skills and those artifacts and this and that. I know this mode is not meant for them, but they would obviously give it a try since it's available. And honestly, if your characters can't do it, I would not fret over it. I would not go mad over it. I would not break my brain just to get that one crappy feather that's probably going to roll 3 times into defense and then 1 and 1 into crit damage, and then say your job's done. But talking about this boss in general, this boss is annoying simply because it's 2 checks. It's not just 1 check like every other boss. Like you have the Papilla, which just checks Night Soul, or you have the Herra, which just checks lunar damage. You have other bosses who follow the same pattern. They only have 1 check, but this dumbass, this lizard has a geo check. So you want either a Claymore or Zibai or Navia or any or Ningguang or any good geo operator, and then after that you want a healer. And I'm gonna be honest with you, we don't have pretty good healers in this game. Like, let's be honest, Baiju is the best healer I think right now, but he is Dendro, so he does not react with Geo, and he does not contribute to Lunar Crystallize. You have Linnea right now, but she is burst dependent, and I would honestly prefer you advise you to build her more for damage, because that's more of her part. Lumi decreases the Geo resistance, she deals continuous damage. Her burst is basically like an Escoffier burst with heals here and there, but it's not really meant for heals. She's not really meant to be a proper sustain. She's kind of like a hybrid sustain DPS type of character. So this boss is annoying as hell. It is absolutely annoying. I have no idea how I cleared it over here. I just kept Barbara because I know she is my best hydro healer and I don't have Kokomi. And Barbara, you should not be sleeping on Barbara because she is amazing. Like, if you don't have her, build her. If you don't, I mean, obviously have her, build her. She is worth it. And obviously Linnea is the shill, so it is what it is. I don't think people would easily be able to clear this without Linnea, which is kind of annoying because I'm a collector. I collect all characters, but for people who are saving for someone, it's kind of rough. And I do not like this pattern that they're going with, especially for Stygian, where it just shills the banner character. It is quite annoying, not gonna lie. But the Moon Gecko, overall, I would say it is one of the toughest bosses in Stygian Onslaught. In the Abyss and Imaginarium Theater, he is piss easy because you have all these buffs, and then you had the freedom to do different teams, different team comps. Now coming on to the good old Papilla, the boss that we hated last year. Like, everybody hated. I didn't, because I have all the Natlan characters, and I do have Emily, so burn also works against this. But still, this boss was easily manageable because you just want Night Soul. You only want Night Soul application, and let me just tell you, Ororon was given for free. And you probably have an Ororon if you've been playing since 5.0. If you just started right now, Stygian Onslaught isn't meant for you, but if you've been playing since the past year, Ororon is free, and Ororon deals a good amount of quick-paced Night Soul damage, and you can build him very easily. You also have Kachina, although I wouldn't recommend her, but she gets the job done. And then obviously you have Pyro Traveler and Dendro. Burning is your solution to this. Papilla on a whole does not feel annoying. I mean, the only part that feels annoying for these one gimmick bosses like the Papilla and the Herra are their huge HP inflations. Like, you can see Chasca doing great damage over here. And I'm gonna be honest with you, my characters over here, my max leveled character is Mavuika, level 95, and her talents are level 7 on basic attack, level 8 and level 8 on her skill and burst. That is it. I have not crowned a single character. None of my characters are above talent level 8. Majority of my characters are at talent level 7. So, and their weapons are at level 80 unless they have their signature, which is level 90. But most of the characters are on level 80 weapons. So you see, it's more annoying that the HP is huge and less annoying that, the bosses are very gimmicky in nature. Like, I don't mind gimmicks because we've been dealing with this since the Magu Kenki. But making the HP hit the roof just to, like, appeal to whales. You already have the dire difficulty, which has a massive HP pool, and then you have these stupid shenanigans over there. I mean, at least you could give Fearless the same difficulty that Spiral Bliss Floor 12 has. So, like, everybody can get that feather. And then after that, you have that Veil check with the Dire. That, honestly, I mean, majority of the people don't even do that unless they pull C6 for every character. And if they pull C6 for every character, they're basically funding the game. So I don't really care if they can clear Dire or not. But overall, I don't know, I just did not like, I mostly don't like the HP inflation in this, and this is probably why I always stop at Menacing, because Menacing feels like floor 12 of the Spiral Abyss. Fearless is like floor 13, 13.5, and it just takes out all the fun of it. And the biggest problem in Stygian is that you start off with zero energy. Now in the Abyss and the Imaginarium Theater, you have max energy. You can immediately start your rotations. Come to Stygian Onslaught and you have nothing like that, which is kind of annoying because you then have to put majority of the characters on the Favonius. At least your supports have to be on the Favonius so they can fund energy to for your other DPS units, and it just kind of sucks. Honestly, it just kind of sucks real hard. They could have, just make us start with full energy and Stygian would become fun. Truly, it would become fun. And as you can see, for the Herra, I chose Raiden Shogun, which is, kind of a very weird choice because, many people consider Raiden Shogun to be very outdated. But I still believe that if you want somebody with a high energy cost, Raiden Shogun is the best character to fund them because of a massive energy recharge. And Flins is one such character. Like Flins, the other thing that I hated about this Stygian Onslaught is that they've buffed Ineffa and Llama. Now I know Ineffa and Llama can easily clear the Herra, but for some reason my Ineffa does not deal damage. I have no idea why, but she just doesn't deal damage. Maybe my crit rates are quite low, and they are quite low. I think it's 30-35, so even with the buff she gets only 65 crit rate, which isn't a lot to be honest, but my artifacts just didn't come. But overall, I think Flins is much better, and I'm kind of pissed that they did not give Flins the Stygian Onslaught buff. I hope he gets them. He gets the buff later on, like 1 week from now, when majority of the people are using him. Overall, this one was also very easy because it's a one gimmick boss. Like I said, the one gimmick bosses are easy. The two gimmick bosses, like the Gecko, which is an absolute abomination. Because how dare you ask me to heal myself, and if I don't heal myself, I have a minus 100% crit rate. I do less damage. I think I do 50% less damage. And I'm just screwed until I don't heal myself. So even a shielder can't bypass that. The only way to bypass it is to use a burst, but then only that active character bypasses that debuff and rest all your teammates get it. It is super annoying. That should not have been present. That should have been something like for the dire level stuff where the whales can do whatever they want to with their C6 Kokumis and all. I do not like the two gimmick bosses, and with the way that Genshin has been going, these two gimmick bosses, I just hope it's a one-time thing with the Gecko, because I think new boss in Port Dorman isn't like a two gimmick boss, the Nihalita boss fight or the Watcher one. So I just hope that They just don't do this anymore. Like, don't do this anymore, man. Don't do this. I do not want to play. I'm honestly not going to do Fearless again. Like, menacing is good enough. I don't really care about that feather. Screw it. But yeah, that is it. I mean, Stygian sucks. Stygian just sucks. So that is it. That was my clears. You can see the weapon levels, the skill levels, the web, everything, artifacts and all. Not really highly invested, but I do have all the shield teams at C0, so it kind of makes making things easier. But yeah, let me know what were your thoughts on this abyss, and if you want to rant, just rant it. Rant it in my comments. I would obviously give that heart button to everybody who hates this. So like, yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to support me and have a great day. Goodbye.